So today I'm going to talk to you for the last time in your 5 minutes, season 2. I am talking at the moment while riding my e-bike. So this will act as my e-bike review as well as my 5 minutes contribution, because I really do believe that the electric bike and the electric car will be the way to go in the future. At the moment I'm in power assist level 2. I have my heart rate monitor on and I'm trying to keep in zone 2 of my heart rate, which is like around 120, I believe, is the top end of zone 2. I've ridden the bike now for a week. I charged it up this morning because I knew I was going to see Graham, and I was on 3 bars from 10. And apparently these batteries, these lithium ion batteries, don't need to be totally discharged to be recharged. You can top them up whenever you want to, which is good, because as I say, I was 70% discharged yesterday and I had covered 70 kilometers in 3 days of e-biking. I don't think I'll be doing quite that many kilometers in future. It was just a very busy week. I had to be in various parts of town at various times, and I didn't want to be too bagged when I got there, if you know what I mean. So this is 1 kilometer. I'm not sure if you'll be able to hear the runkeeper lady. I turned her volume down just so that she wouldn't be too loud. I left home about 3 minutes ago, so I probably have another couple of minutes to record as I approach Shelbourne. I've got it on level 2 power assist. I also have in my right hand, at my thumb tip and my fingertip, the Duralia controls for a 9-speed cassette. Alright. Young mothers doing their boot camp. And there's a guy and a gal stripping tiles off a roof. Yeah, well, as I was saying, it has that little throttle that you can just blip to get the bike moving until the pedals are in the right alignment for you to be able to assist. So basically, the rider, namely me, is the extension, the range extension on the bike. I could probably do 100 kilometers assisting the motor with my own efforts. And as long as I'm not goofing off in level 0, which would be like sitting on the couch, up to about 80 beats per minute is level 0, then I'm doing some work. Most people have understood that jumping on my e-bike is a little bit more exercise than jumping in my car to go somewhere. So I'm not really going to do a lot more traveling, but it also gives me the ability to run further away from home, more in the wilderness areas, because otherwise it would have been like an hour of pedaling to get out to the parks. This is 2 kilometers here. So it's going to take me less time. It's going to take me about 35 minutes to do what it would take an hour normally to pedal on good old Harley. So when I get there, I will have more in me for the run.
This is Suzanne with my 5 minutes on a way to go. I'm currently walking Travis McGee, which of course, has its own little definition of going, and he will eventually, at which time I'll try to remember to put this on pause so that you don't hear the bag ripping and all that other good stuff. Anyway, going back to my particular way to go, the rather macabre thing, my sons and I have been planning my funeral forever, and it's going to be epic, by the way, just to let you know. But the whole thing started, I had never even thought about my own funeral until the Sunday after Thanksgiving, 1973. Yeah, I even know the exact date. And my mother and I were at a florist open house. All the florists in Chattanooga, Tennessee would have an open house, a Christmas open house, on the Sunday after Thanksgiving. And we had seen all the usual wreaths and Santas and snowmen and red and green stuff. And we walked into one of the florists had a huge display of funeral sprays and wreaths, which by itself kind of, well, this is different type of attitude we had, until we saw one, which was pink. And it was a pink princess telephone on a satin pillow with a lovely ribbon that had the wording in glitter, Jesus called. And my mother and I started laughing so hard that we literally had to sit down. We sat down on the floor in a greenhouse, just laughing till we cried, which of course starts up everybody's idea of funeral planning. And how do you want to go? So my sons and I have worked on it, and yeah, it's going to be pretty epic. We've gone through all the jokes, and that spray will be there. But beyond that, we can go into the more literal going part. And I had a wonderful conversation with some octogenarians on a tour we were taking in Guatemala. And I told them that my husband and I, we weren't quite octogenarian at that point, were basically taking the more adventuresome tours in our youth, as it were. He was in his 70s and I was in my 60s. And the lady who was well into her 80s looked at me and said, you know, my husband and I are living our life to leave a good obituary. And that's become sort of my plan. You know, you stop and think about it. And we went through all sorts of scenarios. We decided I wasn't really into it because that would sort of, just the heart attack would kill me of ziplining in Honduras. But wouldn't that make a good obituary? My favorite at the time was died in a fiery hot air balloon crash, died instantly in a fiery hot air balloon crash over the Valley of the Kings at dawn. Yeah, that's a good one. And when I was in Santorini and working on rather narrow trails next to the caldera, plunged 300 feet to her death. Instant death. See, there's a theme there. Into the caldera at Santorini. That's a good one. And that being said, those are a couple of ways I'd like to go. And while we're here, Travis is going. So we'll talk to you next season.
All right, well, hello, Carlos. I'm going to actually record this in the middle of one of my I was just thinking rants. Pull it out, send it to you for your very last, your 5 minute. For those of you not familiar with Carlos and his 05 Mets, this is what, season 2, season 3, and Carlos is doing something interesting. Carlos is taking the summer off for this particular show. I know a lot of podcasts that do that, take a defined break. Say, okay, we don't do anything for this season. That's what Carlos is doing. So. Interesting idea. I don't know if I'll copy it or not, but it's an interesting idea. So, as we go up, another hill. So, well, I know normally you have some sort of a topic. And the only thing I saw was the word linguist. I know a few words and phrases in other languages, but I don't think enough to make an interesting 5-minute submission. So, or in this case, an interesting 3-minute submission is about my first 2 minutes are done. So I'm just going to blather on whatever I think about it. So, I got a number of races coming while you're taking your break. Baltimore 10-miler in 2 weeks. The Mad Marathon about a month after that. And currently, I have nothing in August. So if you come back at the end of the summer, you will only have missed 2 races of mine that could have ended up as fodder for a show idea. So there you go. Not too bad. So, but then I have Bird in Hand in September, and then the week after that, and I haven't told Anthony or Dwayne this yet, is the Nun Run. So, I'd like to get those 2 gents out to Reading to do the Nun Run, because that's a lot of fun. And it's only a 5K. Dwayne could probably win it outright. So, I'm sure Anthony would do well in his age group. Me not so much, because Dwayne is in my age group. So, first place is taken. Won't be me at any rate. So, there you go. Alright. Well, I'm on my last minute, Carlos. So, in my last minute, I'd like to wish you a pleasant end to your current season. I'm looking forward to your next season. Hopefully this is good enough as a show farewell to this year's season. So, there you go. Alright. That's my last 15 seconds. So with that, I wish you adieu. Et de plus, mon ami.
Okay, well that is the end of season 2. And this is the final segment of the show, which is, I guess, down to me to thank everybody. Hello, Endor. It's a little bit early for you to eat just yet. Thank everybody for their contributions over the last 10 weeks. No, it's 20 weeks, isn't it? That's right. 1 a week for 20 episodes. I think the next season might well be just 10 episodes long. And that will be in the fall. Probably I'll start in October sometime after the marathon here in Victoria. But yeah, it's been fun, and I'm leaving the website open for everybody to paste their links, to copy and paste their links, so that I won't have any work to do other than just keep the website tidy. I'm just coming over to my bike, my e-bike, which I have parked in the carport, just to check on the stats. Oh wow, 99.7 kilometers in a week. Let's see what other stats I got here. Yep, maximum 49.7 kilometers an hour. Average kilometers per hour since I've got it, I guess that would be, and that is 20.3 kilometers an hour. On Harley, I was lucky if I could average 14 kilometers an hour. So this is good, and I have charged the battery once for that 100 kilometers of traveling. Endor is looking at me. I think it's probably after 6 o'clock here. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's 6:18. I better feed the cat. But it leaves me with just a few seconds to say goodbye to you, to wish you a wonderful summer, and hopefully in the fall I will be recording once again and pasting together your contributions into a show. I think I will have themes. I seem to get better response when there is a theme to the show. Makes it easier for people to focus their thoughts. So this is me and Endor saying bye-bye to you from Victoria. I got over there in the can. One of these ones. You got to the dinner? Okay.
Eventually we're going to have the ones that say shredded, and then I'll put them together in food processing.
She won't eat those there.
Not very prolific. I took a bite of it.
It's probably dog/cat food. Preferred by dogs with teeth.
Some cat like berries, like this red one.
He was born in London after his father, King Peter, left Yugoslavia ahead of a Nazi invasion. Churchill declared room 212 of Claridge's Hotel Yugoslav territory for the day, so the prince could
There you go, Endor. Bon appetit.